Light novels, the major source of our seasonal garbage isekais and harems. This is a series I'll be explaining why this is so, why light novels are rigged to be against innovating. This week we'll discuss about the origin, in how you become a light novel author in the first place. There are two major ways to become a light novel author: the shinjinshou or Newbie contest, and web novel. Today we'll be discussing the Newbie contest first. Please subscribe to see the rest of the series as they come out. To begin with, every light novel company runs their own contest. Mostly annually, but some also do it semi-annually, where hundreds, if not thousands of applied novels are submitted. These novels will go through 3 or 4 levels of judges, each level of judges having increased experience and importance, with the final round judges often being the professional editors and perhaps 1 or 2 popular authors under their label. From there, the top 10 or so will get to be published and the author officially debut, with the top winner awarded 3 million yen, the second place 1 million, and so forth. So far so fair, right? The best guy wins. But wait, that doesn't explain why the writings themselves are bad. Disclaimer first, I am not saying everyone who got in through this method is bad, but we're talking here is why the system itself doesn't work. Firstly, light novel contest limits the page numbers you're allowed to submit to between 80 to 150 pages on Microsoft Word, which usually translates to 200 to 300 pages on book. Of course, this is understandable. You wouldn't want someone to submit a gazillion pages. The problem is that beyond these 150 pages, nothing matters. Your story doesn't conclude in 150 pages. You want more space to explore the themes and characters.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Maybe you say that's also fair, but here's the issue. What are you supposed to do once you enter into the company and become a professional writer? What will the company expect of you then? Just more 80 pages manuscripts? No. If you heard of any light novels in recent memory, I'll bet that 99.99999% of them are series. Long running. So basically, you were hired for your ability to run a 50-meter sprint, but you'll be expected to run a marathon, maybe even a triathlon. See the problem now? It's why you can easily see that so many light novels, even one with initially unique concepts, fall to cliches relatively quickly. Because in contests, long-term planning ability isn't only unhelpful, it's considered a liability. You are expected to rush your character relationships, developments, and arcs to get it over within 150 pages, put in all your best cards, then not have anything left over for the future. Or actually, you are expected to do it in less than 150. I have been told that judges, especially ones in the first 2 rounds of the contest, considering they are non-professionals assigned dozens of manuscripts to grade, actively dislikes longer manuscripts just for the fact that they are more tedious to them. And since these judges aren't professionals fully affiliated to the publisher, they do not care if the story they are reading will make a long-term successful series or not. So they're literally grading the manuscript with a TLDR mindset. Because of this, there are many unofficial limitations to what you can do in a contest. You're not allowed to have more than 5 named characters, you're not allowed to do the expositions, any foreshadowings, symbolisms, and subtext will just be ignored, so they're pretty much a waste of precious page space. And you might not even be allowed to introduce concepts that judges aren't already familiar with. In a way, it's understandable, because that makes it easier to grade the book as a standalone within 150 pages, but at the same time, the limitations can be quite suffocating and sometimes downright unreasonable. Because 1, it automatically locks you from writing certain genres, and 2, because these points wouldn't hamper an actual long-running series. And in fact, you can see that many successful stories are successful exactly because they're allowed to go against these restrictions. That is why you can see that new fresh ideas and unique settings hardly ever get a platform on light novels. I have talked to many companies, writing teachers, and even people who had history of winning the contest about this, and they will be upfront that following trend is a very big factor in grading. So even for stories that abide by the trends, luck can play a huge role in whether or not you succeed. And to even try to break away from that may very well be self-sabotage. Not to mention, since each company has their own individual contest every year, this is where it also gets messy. Not only that this means there will be dozens of books going around every year with the label contest winner on them, which kinda devalues the title of the winner itself, it also lessens the credibility that the winner will actually make a promising writer in the long run. Like, imagine if each movie studio hosts their own Oscars. Would you think that's trustworthy then? Would you even care? And on the other side too, considering light novel authors, even debuted ones are just freelancers not tied down to the company itself, mean that it is common where instead of staying and producing a series for the publisher, the contest winner can simply just walk away with the prize money. Which certainly isn't helping when the field of light novel authors have a high turnover rate where most, even series writers, tend to not continue writing for longer than 5 years. Especially when you also look at the results. There is a vast variety of genres and type of stories that can win the contest, but when you look at the publisher's monthly catalogs, most of them are still oversaturated with the same old power fantasy isekais and harems. So the result speaks for itself. If the contest's supposed purpose is to get outstanding writers that will help write for the company for a long time, then it has spectacularly failed. So, how did this system came to be? Well, it's from the regular novel contest, which is the boomer father of the light novel contest. And light novel companies tend to be subsidiary of printing or media giants, so you put 2 and 2 together. Though in standard novels case, this selection method is actually effective. That is because for one, standard novels usually not only have twice, thrice, or quadruple the text count of light novel, as you can see here, but they're meant to actually be a one-off, unlike the long-running nature of light novels. But hey, this is Japan. Using a boomer era long obsolete method that has proven to fail after 20 years is kinda what they do in every industry anyway. In fact, if you point out to any popular light novel with big anime adaptations these days, the amount of titles that came from contest winner is stunningly low, with almost everyone coming from web novels instead. So again, all the more proof to show how the system failed to actually get good writers, or writers with any staying power at all. We'll discuss that later in an episode about post-debut career. So now that we see how the contest system is rigged to refuse unique writers and stories while promoting the same old ideas, next week we'll be looking at the web novel, the other major recruitment method, and spoilers, it's not actually any better. Please subscribe to see it next time, share this video to any friends who might also be interested. Thank you for watching and see you next time.